Morning, everybody. Let's talk about this argument speech, especially our topic proposal, and beginning to write our script. I've got a sample topic proposal up. The sample is linked on your lessons and assignments page if you want to look at it closer. The topic that I decided to fill in for my sample is plastic bags. Convince my audience members to stop using those single-use plastic bags and switch to reusable bags. My statement of case explains why this should matter. I start by simply explaining that plastic bags are everywhere, right? We all use them. In department stores, hardware stores, we can't buy anything without a plastic bag. Walmart, a million little bags, right? Most alarming, we use the bag for about 15 minutes to carry our milk or ice cream home, our new Star Wars t-shirt, and then we throw it in the landfill. 15 minutes of use, decades in the landfill. This is how I have explained why this topic matters. Why is this important? Why should my audience care about it? Well, because we use it for a very short time, and then the repercussion is decades in a landfill. I wanted to emphasize that is the reason this matters. Now I go into my arguments of the opposition. These are the people who disagree with me, right? All those people who say, yeah, you're right, but what are their reasonings? Well, first of all, convenience. Yep, that's a good argument. People are going to argue it is easier to use a plastic bag, much more convenient. And I'm going to agree with them. I'm going to recognize their concern and I'm going to say, yeah, you're right. It is so much easier. But then I'm going to refute that by saying something like, but at what cost to our environment? It might seem easier to drop out of high school too, but we don't because the cost outweighs any benefit. Could the same be true here? Yep, it's easier, but is it worth it? The second argument of the opposition that I came up with, I imagine someone who disagrees with me might be able to say, yeah, but everybody does it. And again, I'm going to be very respectful of my opposition. I'm going to say, yeah, you are right. Everyone does use plastic bags and has for ages. And then I'm going to refute that argument. I'm going to try to convince those people. I'm going to be very respectful, very careful. I'm going to say, yep, you're right. Everyone does use these bags. And here's my refutation. But that's the problem. Everyone is using these plastic bags. Let's be part of the solution. And, if everyone jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge, let's be the leader here. Finally, number three, are reusable bags really better for the environment? Perhaps this could be an argument of my opposition. Uh, don't they eventually end up in the landfill? What kind of resources do you need to create those reusable bags? Well, that's a legitimate concern. I'm going to need to do some research here. I'm curious about what the experts have to say about this. And so I'm going to plan to do some research here and go find out what kind of resources does it take to create that plastic bag and that reusable plastic bag? And is it really better? Finally, I get to my arguments. This is the meat and potatoes of my speech. This is the stuff where I really try to sell my claim. I'm going to focus on the environment, right? All of the garbage that these plastic bags create, I'm going to find some data from a good, reliable source, a source that I can trust, a source I can tell my audience members, hey, look at what this source says. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I'm going to go find some data that tries to tell me how much garbage, especially plastic bag garbage, do we create? Where does our garbage go? I'm going to find out about that too. How many landfills do we have in this country? How full are they? Maybe we could put less in the landfill and that's going to help out. I could even talk about the effects of the garbage on our oceans and our air. I know that there's a lot of data out there about plastic in our oceans and in our air, and they call it those microplastics, the little tiny pieces of plastic that break off of the plastic bag. I'm going to go find some data about that. My second main argument, these bags have staying power, these plastic bags. They stick around for a long time, right? 15 minutes of use, decades in a landfill. I'm going to find some data about how long does it take for a single bag to break down. And even if we do drop it off at recycling, like Teals has a recycling place, what happens to the bag? How much water does it take to recycle a plastic bag? Are they actually really recycled? I want to find out more about that. And then finally, I'm just going to end with some inspiration. You can do it. This seems hard at first, but you can do it. I'm going to use some props here. I'm going to show some small bags rolled up that are easy to carry along into grocery stores. I'm going to talk about other strategies like keeping those reusable bags in your vehicle so they're handy. Just learning to use a phrase, I don't need a bag, and just carry home my Star Wars t-shirt. plan ahead. So I've got some good ideas here for you can do it. And I'm going to end with my main point. It will make a difference. Think about the number of plastic bags you and your family uses in just 1 week. What kind of difference can you make if you try this, even for just 1 week? And then maybe it'll become a habit. Okay, take a look at your topic proposal, decide if you need to add to it. Maybe you have too much on it, you need to limit some of your arguments, decide what kind of research you need to go find yet, go do that research. Once you get through that and you've got this topic proposal ready to go, now you're ready to start writing your paragraphs, starting to script your essay. I have a sample body paragraph I want to share with you. It's on a different topic. Let me see, it's right here. This time I'm thinking about switching from ground turkey rather than eating ground beef, trying to convince my audience make that small change in your diet and in your consumption, and it's going to make a difference. When I'm thinking about writing my speech, I have all these ideas on my topic proposal. I'm going to use this stuff up here, my step 2 and step 3 in my introductory paragraph. Once I get here to step 4, now it starts dividing into individual paragraphs. Each of my different arguments of the opposition will become its own paragraph. It will begin with a topic sentence, it will have evidence, it will have a concluding statement at the end. Same for my step 5. All of my arguments here will become its own paragraph. It will have its own topic sentence. So my first body paragraph for my arguments will be about environment, and then my second body paragraph, and then my third. I've even outlined some of the evidence that I hope to use in these body paragraphs. You might want to do that too. As I find the data, I'm going to add the data I find right here. So I have all my information right in the same spot. Once I'm ready to start writing, I really encourage you to focus on one paragraph at a time. So get through your introduction, get that introduction written, get that attention gaining device in there, get that statement of case in there, end with your claim. So the last sentence of your introduction clearly tells your audience what you're going to be arguing. And so for me, my claim would be, we should stop using single-use plastic bags and switch to reusable bags. Once I get past my introduction, though, now I need to think in terms of one paragraph at a time. Begin with a clear topic sentence, evidence in the middle, concluding statement, and then do it again. Go to your next main argument, clear topic sentence, evidence in the middle, concluding statement at the end. For your third body paragraph about arguments of the opposition, clear topic sentence, evidence in the middle, concluding statement at the end. You get it. Let me show you a sample. And I'm actually going to use, can I do this? I'm going to use 2 body paragraphs to create my one main idea here, but you'll see how it works. Switching to ground turkey rather than eating ground beef will contribute to the conservation of our environment. Producing 1 pound of turkey requires a lot less water than is necessary to produce 1 pound of ground beef. There's my topic sentence. My audience knows what this whole paragraph, this whole part of my speech is going to be about. It is going to focus on the environment. It's going to focus on the water that it takes to produce that ground beef. And so here goes the evidence. Here's what I have in the middle of my body paragraph. Folks, we need water, clean, drinkable water to survive. Here in Minnesota, we may not realize the precarious conditions surrounding our world's water supply. We probably don't even think about whether there will be water gushing out of the tap tomorrow. We just count on it. This is not the case everywhere, nor will it remain the case if we continue to use this life-dependent resource irresponsibly. Producing 1 pound of ground beef requires 1,840 gallons of water, according to the U.S. Department of the Interior and the U.S. Geological Survey. 1,840 gallons. Producing 1 pound of turkey, according to the same government sources, requires only 500 gallons. Now, I concede 500 gallons is a lot for 1 pound, and it gives me pause, during which I wonder if 500 gallons is too much. However, it's significantly less water than beef. Thus, a small change in one's diet from beef to turkey will have a significant positive impact on our environment. Notice how this paragraph is tightly focused. It begins by talking about this topic sentence here. I'm focusing on water. Every word, every detail in this paragraph focuses on water. I'm very focused. I have good evidence. I went and I found some good sources, U.S. Department of the Interior and the U.S. Geological Survey. I found some good, strong sources that I feel like I can trust. I've used a signal phrase where I've explained to my audience, hey, here's the information, here's where it's from. I don't have to say I quote, end quote, because it is a paraphrase, but it is clear to my audience which information is from a source and which source it's from. I hope that your paragraphs can be as tightly focused as these. Let's see. I want to look at one more spot. Here we go. I want to review the assignment just to make sure we're all on the same page here. We're looking for 4 to 8 minutes, you guys. Include 3 reliable scholarly sources. We will create a works cited page at the end. We're going to do that together in class. Don't worry about that yet today. You should include at least 2 multimedia components, maybe an image, a graph, a chart, a video, a prop, a presentation aid. Start thinking about what kind of multimedia components will you include. In my plastic bag speech, I had already planned to bring a physical little bag that I can demonstrate. See, look how small it is. It fits right into your pocket. So think about what kind of props you could use. We will plan at least 2 strategies to add style. We're going to do that once we're finally back together. And then in the end, we will submit to Schoology your works cited page and your script. Today, you should begin working on your script. Start drafting your paragraphs. You're not going to finish it today, but see if you can get a couple paragraphs drafted, maybe an introduction and 2 or 3 body paragraphs drafted today. If you're still struggling and you don't know what your topic is, I need to hear from you today. Shoot me an email. We can brainstorm via email and come up with a topic for you. Maybe you're stuck with an argument. Gosh, I need one more counter argument. I can't think of one. Let me know and let me help you. Shoot me an email and we can brainstorm over email today. So your goal today is to start, finish up some research if you've got a little bit more research to do, and then start drafting your script, focused tightly on body paragraphs that begin with topic, sentence, evidence in the middle, concluding statement at the end. Shoot me an email if you need some help.